I forgot how much I love this song. Well, I was gonna do Vandal on stream, and then I got impatient and just did it. So, sorry for those of you who wanted to watch me struggle, because I did. I knew it by, like, par 3, but I couldn't remember the, like, lyrics that would tell me the song name, until, like, par 5, I think it was. And that was frustrating, but, it is what it is. I hope that if you are celebrating Valentine's Day, that you've had a good one so far, and that if you have plans tonight, that they go well. And if you're not, well, hey, you're here with me. All right, let's get this thing started.
Hello, friend.
Yippee.
The average human male is about 60%
No.
water. As far as we're concerned, that's a little extravagant. So if you feel a bit dehydrated in this next test, that's normal. We're going to hit you with some jet engines and see if we can't get you down to 20 or 30%.
I have been sick. I say sick. I've had a fever for the last 2 days, so I have been approximately 99% volume by water for the last 2 days. So I am taking this time to have a well-deserved Dr. Pepper. I thought I'd never speak. That does, however, apply to the rest of you. I don't drink tea. Well, I take that back. I'll drink chai, but I don't have chai in the house. Oh, Dad, see you lying next to me. First I thought I'd never speak. Awake and unafraid to sleep or dead. I really don't want to swap until I finish the song just because I like it a lot. And yeah, that's really all I need. Coming home, keep on living. I am not afraid to walk this world alone. Forgiven. I am not afraid to walk this world alone. I'll be forgiven. Can stop me coming home. Okay, and as much as I would like for the next song to play, unfortunately, we need to play the game. So this is what I forgot to do, was swap the fucking game capture. So we'll fix that. Please. OBS. For the love of God. There we go. So I did turn the music down because it was distracting me. Wait, what did I just click? Oh, the controls. Okay. We do have the ability to use a gamepad. I don't know if I really need to, though. Hey, Pluto. I guess I'll put the music here, and then if it's still too quiet or too loud or whatever, you guys tell me. From what I understand, this game is partially voice acted, but maybe not fully. And usually I would read things that are not voice acted to you, but we'll see how that goes tonight. Because like I said, I've had a fever, for the last 2 days. No other symptoms other than just feeling generally run down, but I think that just comes with the fever. But I've had a fever for the last 2 days. No fucking idea what's going on. And today I've not had a fever, but I've had a headache. So, um, all of this to say, I may or may not read anything that's not voice acted. So, hi Everest. I do also think that this game deals with some adult themes. I do think I saw something about suicide in particular on the Steam page when I was taking a quick glance right before um I started stream. So if that is a concern for you and you want to double check and make sure there's nothing in here that's gonna bother you, I would suggest going and looking at the Steam page just to make 100% sure that this will be a comfy viewing experience for you. Ah, here for the forehead kiss. Mwah. I forgot I still had that as my mobile. Oh my god, 6:35 a.m. Bless up. Go back to sleep, etc. Okay, maybe I will start by reading things. State your first name for the record, please. Sounds like the agent's on a short fuse today. I'd better hurry up and answer him. Cinny. After 8 hours crammed in ultra economy class, ooh, dystopian. All I really want is a warm shower, a cool drink, and a hot guy to spend the evening with. But first I have to get through customs, and that means getting the third degree from a scary-looking official with a massive list of questions. Are you entering this country on business or pleasure? Oh, definitely pleasure. I give the customs agent a coy wink. His face scrunches up in response. He didn't think I was funny, guys. Guess they don't hire these guys for their sense of humor. Clicking his tongue, he looks back at my paperwork. Are you bringing any of the following items into the country? Radioactive or biohazardous materials? Organs for human transplantation? Self-aware digital pets? That sounds sick. Cigarettes containing more than 25 milligrams of nicotine, counterfeit currency, CD-ROMs or other media harmful to the economic or political welfare of the Stradanian public or the physical, spiritual, and mental health of its citizens. This is quite a list. 30 minutes and many, many questions later. And finally, by signing this document, you legally agree to hold the Stradanian government innocent from any injury, loss of life, or property incurred during your stay here. You legally agree to hold the Stradanian government innocent from any... I know this is like legalese. I do. I understand that. However, I think my brain is just losing it. I quickly sign on the line the agent points to. Anything to get out of here. Achievement get. Entry granted. Enter Stradania. When my friends first suggested a vacation here in Stradania, I wasn't sure how to react. You do some weird stuff to get over a bad breakup, sure, but running off to an ex-Soviet republic that 9/10 of the known world won't even recognize as a country? The smart call would have been to find somewhere with warm weather, nice beaches, and most importantly, bottomless rainbow-colored rum drinks. Thank you for stopping by, Everest. Have the best possible day at work. Instead, I'm here in Yunus. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm sorry. A city whose biggest tourist attractions include a pig iron museum, and guided tours through a multi-acre garbage dump, hazmat suits extra. Thick. On the upside, the tickets were dirt cheap, and I'm far enough away from home that I don't really have to worry about what others think. Instead, I can focus on the one thing that really matters: me, relaxing, having fun, remembering how to live a little. And if that means a few no strings attached flings with some of the local hunks, all the better. Like my ankle tattoo says, no regrets. Yikes. So I fire up my translation filters, flag down a cab, and get ready for an unforgettable night on the town. Forget fancy architecture or big historic sites. Every building I see on the drive is an almost identical block of depressing concrete that looks like it'd collapse in a stiff breeze. I vibe with this, though. But that's the point, supposedly. Everything here is so grim, rundown, and miserable that your own life feels like a bed of roses by comparison. Okay, well, yikes. At least that's what my friends claimed, and I'm still not sure this whole setup isn't just one giant, elaborate prank. After stopping by my hotel to check in and stow my luggage, I head out to my first stop of the evening, a club called the Icebox. That sounds like my nightmare. I just need to, say that. All the travel guides I've read say it's the biggest and best night spot in town, not that there was much competition. Word also has it that this is where the city's big Borg scene comes out to play, kind of hip place where nearly anything can happen after a cocktail or two. The building in front of me now, though, not hip or happening. Between those huge storage tanks and the weird pipes leaking gas everywhere, it looks more like a factory than a club. But there's a decent crowd gathered by the entrance chatting and sharing oily-smelling cigarettes, and I can hear the faint boom of dance music through the doors. Let's talk to the smokers. There's an easygoing vibe to the crowd out here, so I figure I can take the opportunity to poke in and get to know some people. Kind of weird that everybody's smoking outside, though. You can tell this is the 90s. Maybe it has something to do with all those warning signs slapped up on the wall. An awful lot of them feature explosions. Oh well, may as well introduce myself. Hey guys, how's it hanging tonight? I'm new in town, and just then the club's front doors open, and a burly, tatted-up blonde with slicked-back hair staggers out, clutching the metallic stump where his right arm should be. He grimaces as he braces himself against the wall, angrily adjusting his sunglasses. The reaction from the group is laughter? One of the younger smokers claps the guy on the back with a grin. You were lucky that's all she took, bro. Cyberjackers. My travel guide said to watch out for locals who will drug careless tourists and steal their implants to resell on the black market. Sure, as one does. Guess Blondie is their latest victim. Good thing I don't have any implants worth stealing. Hopefully. Well, and that makes me think of what my... Listen, okay. You know what's so funny? I'm gonna start imagining that my little Cinny OC... I should have named her my actual OC's name. Damn, can I restart? I'm kidding, but anyway, I'm gonna imagine that my person playing this is my actual cyberpunk OC, who does have some really cool implants, I have to say. I decided to make my exit and let the others get on with ribbing Mr. One Arm for all he's worth. I think I'm about due a drink after all that. After all what you stood by and watched, Bessie. The front door is covered by a bouncer, a tough-looking woman with a pitch-black mohawk and an elaborate dragon tattoo wrapped around her left arm. Thankfully, she only gives me a quick once-over before waving me through. Guess they don't really worry too much about IDs here. Pushing through the front doors, I enter the icebox, ready for my first taste of Unilsk. I'm gonna assume that's closer. Nightlife. Ooh, okay, vibes. I hate this. And this is also skeeving me out. Which turns out to be an unexpected blast of cold smacking me in the face as soon as the doors swing open. There's a sharp chill running through the entire club, just a little too intense to be comfortable. Guess that explains the name. Well, you would think, like, in a club, you're presumably drinking and dancing. So you're gonna be heating up really fast. Also, there's people with implants in here, and I can't imagine those things run cold. So, in my opinion, I think it would be comfortable. Anyway, not that anyone else seems to mind. The dance floor is packed with locals and tourists happily swaying away to the pulse of the music. But the temperature is not the only thing that feels off. Like I said, the walls of the icebox are lined with frosted over glass tanks, all filled up with weird, gooey blue liquid. And people, we see. Not actually people. And each tank has a life-size mannequin bobbing around inside it, just barely visible through the blue sludge. Nice as it is to see actual color in Unilsk. If they were aiming for a cool sci-fi vibe, they missed by a mile. The whole setup is just creepy. Okay, but like, I fucks with that. Did that mannequin just wink at me? I quickly step away and hustle over to the bar area, hoping a bit of alcohol will set me straight. I don't think that's how that works, bestie. Oh, hello. I'm greeted by a handsome man in a strange rubbery protective suit. They're really pulling out all the stops with the theming.
Howdy, Pilgrim. What's your pleasure?
Oh, he has a nice voice. Glancing over at the drinks menu, I'm confronted by a sea of cocktails with names I've never heard of. Fortunately, the bartender seems to sense my uncertainty.
First time in the icebox?
Yes, sir. First time in the country. I just got off the plane a few hours ago. The bartender nods knowingly and reaches for a bottle from below the counter.
Then let's get your visit off to a proper start.
He begins mixing ingredients, half humming to himself as he moves from one bottle to the next. Finally, he slides a glass over to me.
I call this one login screen. My own recipe.
Oh, delightful.
Don't worry, it's on the house.
Do you do this for all the girls? Oh my goodness. He thinks we're cute, chat. I take the glass and sip. I can't exactly place the flavors, but it's sweet and strong, and before I know it, I've got a good buzz going. I relax a little, checking out the various liquors lined up on the bar shelves, though mainly to stop my attention from drifting back to those freaky tanks. Wait, in the cooler, is that?
So, what brings you here tonight?
The sudden question jolts me back to the here and now. Oh, I was hoping to meet some guys, maybe let loose a little.
Well, you came to the right place. Especially since we've banned Vlad from the premises.
Sick. Vlad? Who's Vlad? The bartender's expression darkens.
You'll know him when you see him.
But I thought he was banned from the premises.
He tends to sneak in around closing time to creep on desperate foreigners. Don't worry, though.
Charming.
Our crew knows exactly how to handle him. Anyway, looking for any type of man in particular? I might know a few of our regulars who could fit the bill.
Don't make me pick, please. Good question. After all, half the fun of a vacation fling is trying something new, right? I scan the rest of the club, seeing if anybody catches my eye. Okay. The thin blonde reading a book. The stern-looking guy with the vest and sunglasses. The cocky-looking guy with the flowing pink hair. The hunted-looking man with the glasses and ponytail. The buffed-up fashionista in the expensive clothes. The handsome bartender. Or actually, I think I'm good for now. I think realistically. Who would I not ask about?
Oh, it's you.
Hi, Vaughn. Thank you for the follow. That's a lie. Don't listen to Mooney. Okay, ignoring it now, sorry. Realistically, I think out of this list, I would not pick the hunted looking man or like the buffed up fashionista. Like realistically, I don't know, man. Fuck it. Hey, the cut cyborg with the fancy tech wear, what's his story? Yeah, this is not who I would have chosen, I think. No Cools, his handle. Him and his crew show up here about once a week. Oh, this part is not voiced. That makes me upset. Takes his fashion a little too seriously, but at least he tips from time to time. Okay. What's up with the intense-looking one with the specs? Why does he have a dog treat in his pocket? Oh, he's got a DS. They call him the Sandman. Kind of a closed book, that one. I know he's some type of hacker, but not much more than that. He's not really the clubbing sort, so I'm guessing he's only here for business. Don't expect too much from him. Well, now I'm interested. Oh, what does this say? Headline like that. I just want to read it. This guy. I nod towards an emaciated blonde. Emaciated? I don't know if I agree with that, but whatever. I nod towards an emaciated blonde sitting off to one side. He's absorbed in a book and has kind of a distant look to him. What, Dan fancies himself a bit of a philosopher. Not exactly my idea of a good time, but if you've got a soft spot for lost causes, he's your guy. Well, I am a fixer. I know this about myself. But it's vacation, so... This guy. Why does he have a thumbs down on the side of his head? Tell me more. Tell me about pink hair on the other side of the dance floor there. Ah, shit parade. Not a bad guy as such, but he's addicted to getting a rise out of people. Most find him a bit much to handle. How about the guy with the sunglasses in the far corner? You mean the fixer? Tough customer. He's a totally hopeless snob and weirdly obsessed with tape, but beyond that, nah. Probably best to avoid him altogether. You feel seen. Seen by who? I'm out $2,500 and I'm not even on a date. Matt, what happened, bruh? What about you? Me? I'm just here to keep those drinks coming and maybe offer a firm shoulder to cry on. Depends on how the night goes, really. The IRS. Yeah, that makes sense. My condolences. Damn, you've reminded me that I have not submitted my taxes yet. Frig, man. Oh, come on, that can't be everything, can it? Jack gives me the slightest smirk. Maybe not, but a man's got to keep himself at least... But a man's got to keep at least a few secrets for himself. Okay, well, I'll pry them out of you later, sir. You still have 2 months. I know, but I really... I'm at a point now in my life where I've accidentally submitted literally same day too many times. And so I usually just try and get it done, same day W-2s drop. Yeah, I forgot. So I'll have to make myself a note. I think I'm good for now.
Are you sure?
Oh, now we're talking. Okay. There's a couple of nice guys who usually hang around the back. Thanks, but I'm all set. Well, you're the boss.
I'm Jack.
Yes, sir, I am.
Come back and see me if you need anything.
Okay, but that's not what you said here. Will do. After finishing off my login screen, I head back out to the dance floor, ready to mingle. I take a minute to check out the crowd, trying to find my opening. Everyone's talking and laughing in little groups and having a great time by the looks of it. So I move from conversation to conversation, keeping an ear out for one I can casually butt into. But no luck here, it's all football, local politics, and where to score the cheapest hit. 10 minutes of aimless wandering later, the only thing I've managed to do is make myself feel even more lost and out of place. Maybe I should just cut to the chase and approach one of the guys I was looking at with Jack earlier. But which one? Was it Shit Parade that made you feel seen, Jimbles? Was that the guy with pink hair? I ought to knock you upside the head. I really don't like that they're using names and not descriptions. I've already forgotten. I think this was the one with the pink mohawk. He likes getting a rise out of people. I think that was Shit Parade. Let's pick Dan. Aha. See, this is the one I was interested in. My eyes are drawn back to the thin blonde man sitting in a corner all by himself, head buried in a book. He looks a little isolated and adrift himself. Seems like he'd know what I'm going through. It's settled then. I take a deep breath and walk over to his table. Hi, mind if I join you? He looks up from his book, bewildered.
Do I know you?
No, I'm new here actually. I flew in earlier today and was looking for a fun, wild place to have a drink. And this bar was in all the guides, so...
So you're a trash tourist then.
Okay. Sure. Trash? Well, that's a bit rude.
Sorry, it's just that people usually come here looking for horror stories to tell back home, so they show up and pester us just to get a reaction.
Oh, no, I'm not here for anything like that. I'm just looking for company. Sorry if I bothered you.
No, it's fine, really. Here, have a seat.
He hastily puts the book down and shuffles over to give me more space. I sit down next to the blonde and give him a reassuring smile. He immediately lowers his eyes. Looks like I picked a quiet one, but thanks to Jack's cocktail, I'm more than happy to lead the conversation. I'm Cindy, by the way. He cautiously shakes my hand.
Daniel. You can call me Dan, though.
Yes, sir. So, Dan, are you here with anyone?
Not really. Well, I came here with a friend because she said she needed help picking something up tonight and wouldn't take no for an answer. 15 minutes after we arrive, she steals some barfly's cyber arm and runs off with it. Now I'm just killing time until she calls me and tells me where to collect her.
So that's who that was. That must have been the poor sap I ran into on the way in. Dan doesn't sound too concerned about it, though. More irritated than anything. Guess that means casual cyberware theft is just part and parcel of a Friday night out around these parts. Yikes. I should probably be a bit more careful. Killing time, huh? What's that you're reading? I look over at his book. The title says DIY Detox. As soon as he notices me staring, he stuffs it into his jacket.
It's my friend's.
Is it?
So how's the icebox treating you? Having fun?
I can tell he's not much for small talk. Oh sure, Jack seems nice, and his cocktails all have such fun names. Burnt Wires, Black Ice. Do you have any favorites you'd recommend? He scoffs.
With those price tags, no thanks. You're mostly paying for the funny name, and Jack doesn't even come up with those himself.
So you're not a fan?
The best way to describe this place is all style, no substance. At least they tolerate Borgs. But now I usually don't come here. You can barely hear yourself think with all this awful club music. Never mind carrying on a real conversation.
So what's your go-to place?
There's this one called the Abyss Cafe. My friend hates it, so usually I just go there by myself.
Abyss Cafe. That sounds pretentious as fuck.
But there's live music, decent coffee, and unlike here, you can smoke inside without causing an industrial accident. Someone I know is playing tonight too.
So are we going? Sounds like my kind of place. He hesitates for a moment, looking unsure.
Would you like to come then?
That is what I am asking, yes. Babe. No. Wow, is he asking me out? No! You bet. I'm a little caught off guard, but why not? He seems like a sweet guy. A little on the lost side, but who isn't? I'm so deeply amused by this. I'd love to. Let's do this.
Great. Let me just go talk to someone real quick and then we can get going.
I thought your friend fucked off somewhere, though. I finish my drink, then go wait for Dan by the club entrance. I'm beginning to think he was right about the icebox. It's way too chaotic for any kind of real intimacy. I'm more than ready to get away from the nonstop Eurodance and head somewhere cozier. Oh, he's cute. Dan finally shows up a few minutes later, looking surprisingly upbeat. His eyes seem brighter, and he's a little more relaxed. Baby, what did you just take? I guess asking him out was the right move after all. Some guys just need a little attention to bloom. I smile and take him by the hand. He says nothing, but doesn't pull away either. I'm parked just over there. So who did you need to talk to? Oh, just some work stuff. Don't worry about it. Work stuff at this hour? I'm a courier, so sometimes I get last-minute pickup requests, things like that. I see you. Don't worry, though. I think I'm off the hook for the night. Now let's get going, shall we? The drive is longer than expected, taking us past dark, empty parks and blocks of half-abandoned apartments with boarded-up windows. We're almost on the verge of leaving town altogether when Dan finally pulls over next to a battered-looking shack of a building with spray-painted signage. My heart instantly sinks as soon as I spot the words Abyss Cafe. This is Dan's idea of a date spot. You'll note that he didn't say that. He just said that he liked it. So. Oh, it's cute in here. I mean, all things considered. The inside of the cafe isn't much to write home about either. The place smells of mold, cigarettes, and stale beer. Well, that's unfortunate. And the bare brick walls are plastered with old flyers and rude graffiti. But I bite my tongue, remembering what Dan said about trash tourists. No, tonight I'm going to try to see the good in things and people, besides what's not to love. There's mood lighting, candles, cozy sofas with only a bare minimum of weird, suspicious stains, and above all, privacy. Glancing around, I realize we've got almost the entire space to ourselves. Is this why Dan wanted to take me here? Oh my god. I can't help but blush at the thought. Shall I get you a coffee? A coffee at this time of night? I glance over at the cafe's menu board for alternatives, only to discover that the one item listed is, in fact, coffee. Quote unquote. Yeah, I know it's not much of a selection. They lost their alcohol license a few months back, something to do with illegal poetry nights, but the roast is good. And I've got a little something extra if you need it. Oh, you do? He opens his jacket, giving me a peek at a beat-up hip flask. Surprise alcohol. Well, as they say, one in Rome, or Unilsk. Oh. Sure, I'll take a black coffee. I keep coming back to this little spinny cuppy. And I'm wondering if it's supposed to be a Sick Puppies reference. Hang on. I need to Google something. It could be. I don't know. Great. 2 black coffees coming up. Skinny puppy? See, that's one I haven't heard of. Hang on. Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah. A Canadian electro-industrial band. Wow. I picked the cleanest and comfiest looking couch at the back of the room and settled down to wait. Moments later, Dan returns with our cups. Oh, don't you want to sit closer to the stage? I honestly hadn't even noticed the dinky area with the tiny projector screen at the other end of the room. Right, he mentioned something about live music earlier. You're gonna miss all the visuals over here. Come on, let's move to the front. I reluctantly follow him and we settle down in front of the screen. As we wait for the show to begin, Dan kindly pours a generous dash of surprise booze into my coffee. After a moment's hesitation, he decides to spike his own too. Eventually, a homeless looking guy wheels out that's not kind. Jesus. Wheels out some equipment and starts wiring it together. I was expecting a guitar, maybe a piano, but none of this stuff even looks like instruments. Ooh, okay. Unsettling synth music starts pouring out of the speakers. For a second, I think the setup is malfunctioning, but judging from the crowd's reactions, this seems to be right up their alley. I think I must not have been paying attention. I thought this place was basically empty. I think I must have missed a line. I turned to Dan to comment, only to discover he disappeared while I was watching the setup process. Minutes pass, and I'm starting to get more and more uncomfortable. Even the hooched up coffee is barely distracting me from the racket. By the time... Bleh. Where is it? By the time Dan finally slips back into his seat, I'm more than ready to pull the plug on this evening. This performance is like an anxiety attack in stereo. Hey Dan, can we maybe... I look over only to realize that Dan's closed his eyes and is now slowly swaying in time to the electronic gargling blasting from the speakers. He seems absolutely absorbed by the noise. I desperately wish I could say the same. A moment later, the bleeping finally stops and I breathe a sigh of relief. Dan leans in and taps me on the shoulder.
Hey.
God, I don't like that they do just like the first line of dialogue. They don't do the whole thing. Throws me off every time. Anyway, hey, check it out. He's about to play my demo. Your demo? That's cool. What kind of music do you... What is this? Wait, it kind of fucks with it though. Oh god. It just keeps going. I look at the stage and instantly regret my decision. The projector has started flicking through a wobbly series of blotches at high speed, splashing violent colors across the wall. After about 30 seconds of this, I can feel the beginnings of a brutal migraine gathering in the back of my head. Meanwhile, Dan appears to have blissfully melted into the sofa. What am I even doing here? Tough it out. You're the one who invited your fucking self to this. My inherent politeness wins out, and I decide to at least stay until the end of Dan's track. At least I hope it's only one track. God help me if he's got an entire album of this stuff queued up. I finish off my spiked coffee and stare at the patterns on the projector, desperately trying to tune out the quote-unquote music. Slowly, the visuals start pulling me in. In fact, the longer I watch, the more the noise and static start to transform into real sounds and images. So I let my mind wander, feeling a kind of freedom I've never felt before. Nothing around me matters anymore, but in a fun way. I'm almost contemplating going into Shavasana on the floor when Dan's voice pulls me back to earth. You okay there? Oh, yeah. I'm fine. How long has it been? About an hour or so. The cafe's closing in 15. We should start heading out. An hour? Wow, did I fall asleep? Yeah, sorry about that. I guess I'm more jet lagged than I thought. No worries, I get it. This set is pretty intense for a beginner. I see him smile for the first time. It's a good look on him. Cute. New souvenir unlocked, Dan's demo tape. After a last round of coffees, we make our way back to Dan's ancient car. He's offered to drive me back to the hotel, and now I'm seriously weighing whether to invite him to my room. On one hand, it's a perfect chance. I mean, that's what I came here for, to go on a fun adventure and find a cute guy to hook up with. Still, I'd kind of like to get to know the guy first, and Dan's given me nothing. So far, he's either been dodging my questions or just spacing out. We're almost at the car when he suddenly breaks the silence. You know, I fully expected you to leave halfway through that show. The thought certainly crossed my mind. You did? So why did you even take me here? He lights up a cigarette.
I don't know. I think, in a way, I maybe wanted this date to go badly.
Ah, self-sabotage. Bless his heart. What? Why? What's wrong with this guy? May I count the ways?
I don't know. Maybe I thought that if I set myself up to fail, I won't have to worry about being disappointed. Or something.
It's very insightful. Have you been to therapy?
Plus, it gives me an excuse to get fucked up afterwards.
True.
Sorry, I'm just rambling now. I'm glad you stayed. Sorry if it sucked.
2 sentences does not rambling make. It didn't, actually. At some point, my mind just went somewhere. Yeah? Yeah, I can't really describe it. I think it was like that thing we do at the end of the yoga class where you meditate, but, like, better. He lets out a chuckle. I guess that's one way to put it. You know, I used to make VR trips for a living, out-of-body experiences, that kind of thing. Oh, that sounds fun. I love a good VR sesh after a long day at work. Maybe you could show me a thing or two? Yeah, about that. I can't really do VR anymore. Some stuff happened. Long story. Now I just listen to harsh noise and get high, hoping it'll do the trick. Sometimes it does. Sorry. Dan suddenly went from not saying anything to sharing a bit too much. Be careful what you wish for, I guess. Anyway, if you like VR, maybe try one of the salons in town. They only do canned stuff and all of their trips are stolen. But it's the only safe, legal option around here. Trips are so much better live, but what are you gonna do? Trips like... shroom trips? Is that the context we're using this word in? He sighs. By now, we've reached Dan's ride, a gently rusting Soviet-era relic with an electric blue paint job and the equivalent of a lawnmower engine under the hood. I steal a glance at Dan as he struggles to unlock his car. He looks so sad. Sad and worn out. Doesn't seem right to leave him alone like this. Would a hug help? Or a drink? Or maybe something else? Here's the thing. I think that my character has the wrong mindset about this trip. So, I give him a playful look. So would you like to come back to my room with me? It's not much, but it's got a pretty decent minibar. We could have a few more drinks and see what happens. He hesitates for a second. Well, I guess I could stay for at least a drink or two. Good. We roll up to my hotel a short while later. Seizing the initiative, I hustle him out of the car and into the lobby elevator. Doesn't seem like my enthusiasm is catching on, though. Right now, Dan looks like he'd rather be anywhere but here. You know, on second thought... Hey, is everything okay? Did I move too quickly? Did he need like a second day before he would put out? Is that what's happening? Yeah, it's fine. Just need a drink, I guess. I think, perhaps, whatever you took earlier is wearing off, actually. Dan's back to avoiding eye contact with me. Hi, Candy. Maybe a one-night stand isn't the best idea after all. From what I've seen, he's clearly not in the right state of mind for this. I give him a reassuring smile. You know, we don't have to do anything if you're not feeling up to it.
I don't know.
But then this whole night would have been for nothing. I'd hate to feel like I've wasted your one weekend in the country. Sir, that's not true. I've enjoyed your company. That's not nothing.
Thanks.
Thanks. I don't hear that too often. So, what do you say? Do you still want to come up for a nightcap? We can just talk about, I don't know, music or whatever else you'd like. Sure, why not? After what seems like the longest elevator ride ever, we finally reach my room. What a charming little room. As promised, I dig into the minibar and am about to take out a bottle of red when Dan stops me. Actually, I think I'll have a soda. Just a soda? You seemed pretty on board with something stronger just a few minutes ago. Whatever makes him feel more comfortable, I guess. With a shrug, I pour us 2 glasses of Pepsi and settle down next to him. I guess it doesn't make that much difference, seeing as I already broke my 3-day sobriety streak. Wait, you've been trying to quit drinking? I'm sorry, I had no idea. Mm-hmm. Fucking called it. Well, not just drinking. There might have been some other substances, too. Oh boy, that DIY detox book he was reading suddenly makes a lot more sense. So then that work call you got at the club. Yeah, that was my dealer. I fucked up, didn't I? Was it because of our girl? The thing that we do not do is immediately blame ourselves. We ask if he's okay. But whatever. Was it because of our date? Did I do something? He hesitates, clearly not wanting to hurt my feelings. No, it's not you. I'm the one with the problem here. Who goes off to a cocktail bar with a full hip flask when they're trying to get clean, right? Hey, people do crazy shit, okay? I just got anxious and needed something to take the edge off, and my dealer, well, he was right there, so guess I'm not ready to get back into the dating scene just yet. Hey, I understand. I just got out of a bad situation myself. I know it's not easy putting yourself out there. Still, you've gone on a date and survived. It's a start, right? Yeah, maybe I could try going on one sober someday, too. I'd like that. How about a daytime date next time then? No drinking, just sightseeing. Cute! He tries his best to hide it, but I see a little glimmer of excitement in his eyes.
Seriously?
Next time? Seriously? In that case, maybe we could visit the Museum of Contemporary Art, or the National Gallery, or the State Library, or the other library where they keep all those banned sci-fi books if some mob hasn't burned it down yet. Oh, exciting. Then there's this... God, he's adorable. Then there's this indie cinema just around the corner. Wait, I'll show you before I go. Got a pen? I hand him a ballpoint and a city map I picked up at the airport, then spend an informative 5 minutes watching him cover almost every inch of it with elaborate notes and directions. Eventually, he stops writing and turns over his handiwork with a slightly self-conscious expression.
Sorry, got a little carried away. Anyway, hope this helps. There's all sorts of stuff around here that you won't find in the guides.
Oh wow, thanks Dan, this was really helpful.
It's the least I can do.
Achievement get, Mind Tripper, unlock Dan's second date. Yippee!
I mean, I guess you can go see this stuff by yourself too, but I wrote down my number in case you get lost or something.
Or something.
Well, anyway, guess I better leave you to it and head back home. I think I've had enough nightlife for tonight.
The last few hours have been a roller coaster, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little sad to see things end, especially now that Dan's actually starting to open up. Guess so. Thanks for staying.
No problem. Take care.
You too, Dan. Stay safe out there. I give him a hug, long enough to thoroughly absorb the cigarette smell of his jacket, though that's the least of my concerns right now, and send him on his way. A few minutes later, I hear the unmistakable sound of Dan's car misfiring out of the hotel parking lot. Through the window, I watch him drive off into the night. I really hope he'll be okay. Info, your bond with Dan has grown deeper. Perhaps you could take him up on his offer tomorrow. God, I'm so good. Okay. After a bit of hesitation, I decide to ask the hotel's reception I decide to ask the hotel's reception. There's a missing two. To call me a cab back to the icebox. I'm not quite ready to turn in, and just sitting around getting hammered off my room's minibar seems like a very sad and expensive way to end the night. Yeah. Things are still hopping out on the dance floor. I take a minute to scan the crowd and figure out where I want to go next. Ugh, they have given me names again. Fixer, I think, had... This was pink hair, this was pink hair. I think these two had black hair. The ponytailed guy hanging around the back entrance seemed to be the only person in the club who wasn't dressed to impress. With his dorky and slightly worn sweater, glasses, and button-up shirt, I was immediately reminded of my international relations professor back in college. Then again, I did always have a bit of a crush on the prof. What made me stop, though, was the intensity of his look. When I first spotted him, he was working on a sleek palm-top computer, staring at a screen so aggressively that I half expected lasers to suddenly start shooting out of his eyes. For a second, I imagined what it would be like to have him look at me like that instead. Sweater or no sweater, the image was incredibly appealing. Except the spot he was sitting at is empty now, and I have no idea where he went. For all I know, he might have gone home already. He didn't really seem like the party all night type. Oh well, may as well head back to the bar and...
Apologies.
Oh.
Did not see you.
Here he is. No problem, I was actually on my way to come by and say hi, but...
Sorry, no time.
Oh. The way he's scanning the club makes it clear he's looking for something, and judging by how on edge he's acting, it's gotta be important. Did you lose something? Maybe I can help.
Maybe.
There's this weird quality to the way he speaks too, like he's trying to figure out how to get his point across while staying as little as possible. Definitely not your average kind of guy, but since the last quote-unquote average guy I dated wound up sleeping with my personal trainer, maybe that's not a bad thing. What are you looking for?
A dog. A small, white coat. Ancestor Venera. Must have slipped out of her bag earlier.
What did dog bone do? Well, presumably, it's for the dog. Hi, Abyss. I did not see that one coming. Who takes a dog to a nightclub, especially a club like the Icebox? Maybe it's a service animal, but still. What breed is she? Pomeranian. A Pomeranian. Here I was expecting some weird rough and tumble Russian breed. Looks like our cool man of mystery is a bit of a softie at heart. I don't know, man. Have you met a fucking Pomeranian? They can be nasty, nasty little dogs. I recently actually found out that they are a part of the Spitz family of dogs, which makes so much sense. In case you were unaware, Huskies are also a part of the Spitz family. Yeah, there's Terrier in the name. Of course they're assholes too. And I've just been handed the perfect excuse to get to know him a little better. Why don't we split up? I'll check the common areas and you can look around the back. We can cover a lot more ground with two people looking. I'm Sunny, by the way.
Thanks.
Sandman. And thanks. Now, where do I start looking? He's looking around back. I think he was sitting at a booth? Whatever. We'll check the booths first. Spaniels like to be busy. I start combing the booths, figuring that there's a chance that Sandman's dog might have slipped under a table or chair at some point. But the only thing I turn up is a bunch of discarded wrappers, some dirty napkins, and a Ziploc with 2 blue and white pills inside. A half-torn sticker on the baggie reads, "Legit delivery." So much for that idea. Ooh. I pocket the Ziploc without really thinking about it. Maybe there's a lost and found around here or something. Baby girl, that is drugs. Drugs. Ooh, cool hookah. There's a curtained off area with a VIP only sign on the left-hand side of the dance floor. I risk a peek inside, but only see a few bored 20-somethings in expensive clothes sharing a hookah. One of them gives me a sharp glare. I quickly duck back. Guess I'd better try somewhere else.
Hey there.
Hey again, can I help you? Yeah, this is gonna sound kind of weird, but, have you seen a dog around by chance? A dog? Can't say I have, no. I'll keep an eye out, though. Good old Jack. Doesn't even bat an eyelid. Thanks, Jack. I'll catch you later. Later. I like how she's had one conversation with Jack. And, now all of a sudden it's good old Jack. Ugh. Wordle pinging me in Discord, making me think I have messages. Please, for the love of God. Happy hunting! I told Sandman I'd stick to the common areas, but I figure it's worth taking a quick look outside all the same. The clump of smokers by the entrance barely gives me a glance as I hurry past and head for the rear of the club. Rounding the icebox makes me realize just how big the building is. From what I've seen, the dance floor, booths, and bar can't be taking up more than a quarter of the available space. Which begs the question, what are they using the other three-fourths for? I shiver, not so much at the thought, though, more due to the strange cold mist that's leaking from the pipes I pass on the way. I'm close to giving up when I hear a soft bark, almost completely drowned out by the hiss of gas. Uh-oh. Puppy! Oh my goodness, she's got her own stuff. I follow the sound to one of the larger conduits. Underneath, there's a small and shivering white dog looking at me with cautious eyes. Hey, little one, you must be Venera. The dog perks up at the sound of my voice. As her head rises up, I notice there's some kind of strange antenna embedded in her skull. I know pet implants are a thing, but it's usually just stuff like tracking devices. I don't think I've ever seen anything this extreme. Worse, a few tufts of fur seem to be caught in the casing, probably from scrabbling around the vent. Small wonder she's in distress. You found her. I hadn't realized Sandman was standing behind me until he spoke. He moves almost disturbingly quiet. Ugh, God. He moves almost disturbingly quietly. Yeah. So what's with the antenna? Where has my music gone off to? Is it just because I'm not in the club? I don't like it. Sandman beckons to Venera, who wastes no time jumping up into his arms with a happy little yip.
That's always been there. A leftover from previous owners.
Oh, lovely. He affectionately scritches Venera's ears, then deposits her in his messenger bag and zips it up, leaving just enough of an opening for the dog's head to poke out.
Good evening.
Thanks for assisting. Hey, wait a second. After turning half the club upside down looking for Venera, I'm not ready to let him head off that easily. I've had some experience treating animals. Why don't I come with you and make sure your pup's okay? Her fur's a mess, and it is pretty cold out here. Technically, I'm not lying. I've spent enough hours at my sister's dog grooming salon to pick up a trick or two. Even those, even if those tricks are oh my god. Even if those tricks are more focused on coat care. But Sandman doesn't need to know that, does he? Bitch. He gives me a calculating look, one that lasts a few seconds longer than comfortable. Finally, he nods.
Fine.
Come now. Sir, yes, sir. As I turn to follow Sandman, I notice two other dogs peeking out around the club's dumpster. Both are equipped with camera eyes, and both are staring directly at me. Shivering, I hurry to catch up. Well, that's an unsettling visual. The walk from the icebox is mostly silent. It's quickly clear that Sandman isn't really keen on conversation, and most of my small talk goes unanswered. Eventually, we reach a tunnel. Going by the flaking paint and rust-specked warning signs, it's been abandoned for a while. This way. I have to keep telling myself that this will make a great story for when I get back, because every rational instinct I still have is yelling at me to get the hell out now. And the further we go, the creepier the ambiance becomes. Lights flicker and die, and I swear I can hear rats skittering around in the distance. Sandman seems unfazed, though. Wherever we're going, it's pretty clear he's come this way many, many times before. Here. Finally, after what feels like an absolute eternity of wandering, Sandman stops at a battered service door and taps out a combination on a keypad. The door swings open with a groan, revealing even more darkness, with just a tiny bit of green glow from a row of old computer screens to break it up. Does that say? This little pug on the front's cute. Gunchy? Gunches? I don't know. I take a quick glance at the screens showing lines of code and... Was that a person just now? 1 second. Ah, that's better. He hits a switch, bringing up some fluorescence overhead. With the benefit of proper lighting, I finally have a chance to take in my surroundings. I once dated a PhD student who lived in a rat-trap basement apartment with no windows and built most of his furniture out of milk crates. This is something else entirely. Computers aside, most of the space seems to be taken up by kennels, with enough space for a dozen dogs or so. Kind of an unusual place you've got there. A means to an end. Sandman sets his bag down and lets Vanera out. I have to say, I'm like just kind of realizing that a lot of the background elements are like photo collaged. Like the way that this blanket sits on this chair. This is all like kind of photorealistic stuff back here. And I think that's really cool. I kind of like that. The vibes are off the charts, etc. Anyway, there's a few other dogs lurking in the darker corners of the room, a mix of breeds and sizes whose only common feature is the weird cybernetic widgets they're sporting. A few of them poke their heads out to stare at me. There's an intelligence in their expressions that sends a little shiver through me. So it's just you and the dogs down here? Mostly. Sandman gives me an expectant look. It takes me a second before I remember my promise from the icebox. Oh, right. I was going to give Vanera a quick checkup, wasn't I? The little Pomeranian settles in front of us. I kneel down, hoping I look at least somewhat professional in the face of Sandman's scrutiny. The tiny, sensible part of me is begging me not to overplay my hand here, but sometimes you have to take a chance, right? So, am I about to get secondhand embarrassment from my own actions? Chat? Please. For the love of God. We should probably try to get some of this liquid off. God only knows what kind of crud she's gotten into. Do you have any shampoo? To my surprise, Sandman... What do you mean to your surprise? He's got, like, 6 dogs or whatever the fuck. To my surprise, Sandman immediately pulls a bottle from a nearby box. My implant's struggling with the Russian, but I see the words "for a glossy coat" on there. I dutifully pour some out and start massaging it in while Sandman goes off to collect a water pail. I'll have to write my sister a thank you after all this is over. Instead of dog fur and pudge, however, my fingers keep pressing into something far more hard and metallic, eventually provoking a whimper from Vanera. Sorry, I'm just thinking back to the beginning of the game where they were talking about... I forget what they called them. Pet robots, basically. I carefully pull my hand away. This definitely wasn't a situation the Pampered Pup Salon equipped me to deal with. Sandman seems to notice my confusion. Implants. Monitoring equipment, mostly. Why would you install monitoring equipment in a dog? Again, previous owners. Which... who would be who? I sense the slightest tinge of anger in Sandman's voice. From everything I've seen so far, he's very protective of Vanera. The upside is that I now have an easy out for my bluff. I don't really have a lot of experience with, cyber dogs. Sorry. Understandable. He quietly washes the rest of the shampoo out himself, then nods at Vanera. The Pomeranian promptly scampers off into the darkness to join the rest of the pack. Thanks for trying. So anyway... oh my god. So anyway, what's a guy like you doing all the way down here? It's complex. You can say that again. I wait, hoping my silence might prod Sandman into volunteering a little more information. No such luck, though. I don't think I've ever seen that many monitors in one place before. A personal project. If Sandman ever took up poker, the gambling world would be in a whole heap of trouble. I've seen statues with more readable faces. Did you have anything else planned for this evening, then?
Yes.
Dare I hope? And what's that? A visitor. For work. Well, if they're gonna be a while, we could maybe order some food, or...
No.
He should be here soon. The tone of Sandman's voice makes it pretty clear he's not open to debate on this one. So much for that idea. Okay, well, I guess I should let you get on with your evening. Thanks for showing me your place, I guess. Yes, thanks for earlier. As I get up to collect my things, Vanera gives me a little yap of acknowledgement from the recesses of the room. I love her. Can you find your way back? I should be okay. Take care, Sandman. You too, Cinny. I gather up my stuff and hustle for the exit, trying to ignore the dog staring at me from every half-dark corner of the room. Puppies! Robot puppies! Finding a way back out of the dingy, filthy tunnels takes way longer than I was planning on, but eventually I'm back in the daylight, nightlight, streetlight, whatever. The important part is that I'm not underground anymore. Oh my god, we're going back. Luckily, I managed to flag down Luckily, I managed to flag down a cab to the club relatively quickly. I re-enter the main room with a sigh. What a night this is turning out to be. Has not gotten laid once, by the way. Things are still pretty hopping, but this evening's going by quickly. Better be smart about the time I have left. Well, theoretically, Jack is off soon, yeah? Jack's dealing with another patron when I return to the bar, but favors me with a little smile when he spots me. A minute later, he's over by my stool with the mixer in hand. Still having trouble? I don't know, I thought it'd be easier than this. Chin up, there's still a few hours before closing. How about a CD rum? Sounds good, hit me. I work my way through the cocktail and set off to try my luck once more. Damn it. How many of you are here to vote on the poll? Okay. Confession time. I've never dated a full-on Borg before, but there's always been something kind of exciting about the idea. What constitutes a full-on Borg? So when I read about the icebox on the Stradanian cyborg scene, I figured why not? What's a post-breakup vacation for if... What's a post-breakup vacation for if you can't let yourself get at least a little wild? I can tell that my brain is not doing... or not going to get any better at the reading thing. I apologize for my words. But so far, the only guy who's jumped out at me is the flashy raver type in the fancy designer threads from earlier, and he's nowhere to be seen. The other cyborgs on the floor, at the least the obvious ones, might as well not be there at all, save for the odd piercing here and there. Everybody just looks so normal, boring even. I'm beginning to get the feeling my travel guide sold me a bill of goods. So I aimlessly wander through the bar, the dance floor, the chill-out rooms, and I'm just about to give up when a familiar red mohawk and glowing cyber arm sweeps past me. I only catch the barest glimpse of my guy before he disappears behind a roped-off and curtained entrance. The sign next to it reads, Private Function, VIPs Only. I got a quick look at the Icebox's VIP area when I was looking for Venera with Sandman earlier. Things seem to be pretty dead in there, honestly. Luckily for them, I'm just the kind of person who knows how to shake up a room, whether it wants it or not. Sure, I'm not actually a VIP, but if they didn't want people to barge in, they'd post a bouncer or something. Okay, bestie. Well, before we get started on our third guy of the night, by the way, I gotta pee. BRB. I forgot I took selfies earlier, so I just posted those in Discord. Like I was fully gonna post them before stream, and then I just forgot about it, so clearly it didn't matter that much. I'm really sorry, I'm like watching ad break after ad break after ad break after ad break, and it's really pissing me off how many ad breaks they will shove in there when you turn them up just enough so that you don't have to deal with pre-roll. Like, I'm genuinely at a point now, I'm doing this right now because it's pissing me off. Where is it? Ads. How many minutes of video ads do you want to run per hour? And I've got it on 3 minutes. Pre-roll ads for incoming viewers. But what does partially disabled mean, is my question. Sorry, I'm looking at the page. If I turn it down to like 2 minutes of ads per hour, it tells me that pre-roll ads for incoming viewers are partially disabled, but it doesn't tell me what the fuck partially disabled means. Just obnoxious. All right, I'm just gonna turn it down to like a minute and 30 seconds of ads per hour, and we'll see how that goes. Because like realistically, it's just worse because I have a quiet chat, which is fine. I'm not yelling at you for being lurker, but just seeing the only thing in the chat be announcements is like, ah! Anyway, back to it. Unlike the rest of the club, the Icebox VIP lounge is built for intimacy with cushy seats, mood lighting, and plenty of space. And smoke. Smoke that tastes like popcorn and soap. Smoke that tastes like popcorn and soap. What? Why? It doesn't take long to find its source, either. My cyborg friend and his buddies are huddled in a corner, taking turns on a giant glowing hookah. All of them are impeccably dressed with carefully coordinated outfits. Oh, they're coordinating? That's adorable. I suddenly feel like an awkward teenager approaching the cool table in high school again. My guy looks up at me and instantly grimaces. Okay. He takes a final puff from the hookah and then sets it down, walking towards me with extremely visible annoyance.
Hey, are you lost or something? It's VIPs only in here.
Hey, are you lost or something? Alright. Well, time to wing it and let Jack's drinks do their magic. Well, who's to say I'm not a VIP? He scoffs.
In that outfit? Yeah, not likely.
Excuse the fuck out of you? I know he doesn't mean that. No, he's just putting me down to make me want his approval. The oldest trick in the book. Do I really want to waste my precious evening on these kinds of games? Not really. Got a blast. Sorry, not doing this tonight. I've got nothing to prove to you. I'll admit, there's a little bit of satisfaction in watching the smug look drop from his face.
Really?
Yeah, then scram already. Or what? You're gonna call the fashion police on me? Get over yourself. I'm going, but only because I want to, and because your neon super bong over there is giving me a killer headache. Seriously, what are you guys even mixing in that thing? Bath bombs? Listen, you little... I give him a cheery wave as I duck under the rope again. Bye-bye! Laters! As I head back to the bar, a tall, shadowy figure passes me by. When I look up, it's already gone, and all I'm left with is a trail of fog machine vapor and a vague sense of unease. Ooh, I don't like that. Well, that sure was an experience. I guess it's time to try my luck somewhere else. Do I have to talk to all of them in the first night? That's crazy. Jack.
Welcome back.
No, I just want to talk to you, Jack. You're so nice, Jack. Something with a bit of punch to it, please. Jack's only happy enough to oblige, and soon enough the sting of failure is... No, we didn't fail, though. We told him to fuck off because he's a cunt. Hello? Anyway, soon enough the sting of failure is replaced by the far more pleasant buzz of hard liquor. Oh. Alright, shit parade. There's a younger-looking guy with a soul patch and a wild pink mohawk set up in a booth on the other side of the club. He's working through a row of beer cans and seems to be having a great time doing so, judging by the grin on his face. And if I'm going to be honest, after the fiasco with Dan, I could really use somebody a little more upbeat. This guy's gonna try and piss me off. I don't wanna. I'm still trying to figure out an icebreaker as I walk towards his booth, but he's already on it before I can even open my mouth.
Come on, no need to be shy. Plenty of room for everybody here.
I take a seat. I'm Zinni.
A pleasure. I'm Igor. My friends, however, like to call me Shit Parade.
Okay. If that's what your friends call you, what do your enemies use? Igor laughs. It's a bright, pleasant kind of sound. A sound I wouldn't mind hearing more of.
It's just the title of a column I used to write in a local VR zine. Bad trip reviews. Like, fucktastrophically bad.
Fucktastrophically? What a great word. Oh, you're a writer? That triggers another laugh. I do like a guy who doesn't take himself seriously.
If you want to be fancy about it, probably more on the money to say I worked through my inadequacies on paper.
Felt. The last part is delivered with a knowing wink. Good to know. Though I think I'll stick to Igor if you don't mind.
More power to you. You into VR at all?
Sir? Sure, I like a good sim every now and then to bust some stress. Mostly the spa programs. You know Hot Stones 3? Not Hot Stones 3. What the fuck?
I can't say I do, but I'll admit, my tastes are very singular.
Singular in what way?
Might be easier to show instead of tell, especially if you've got an implant. Ever wanted to broaden your VR horizons a little?
I don't trust you. That almost sounds like an invitation. Well, yeah, he's, like, literally specifically inviting you. Not to fuck. But to do whatever. Hi, welcome in. I was hoping for something a little more romantic. Cute as he might be, I don't really want to spend my big night staring at the inside of a VR headset. Not tonight, sorry. I'm trying to keep things fun and loose. Igor seems a little disappointed, even if he's trying not to show it.
Oh, well. Was worth a shot, right?
You want to maybe hit the dance floor instead?
I'm not super big on the whole dancing business.
Why are you here, then? Oh, no need to be self-conscious. It's all just about having fun, right? Maybe with a few drinks?
I'm gonna pass. Don't let me stop you, though.
Okay, deuces. His tone suggests there's no room for discussion here. Everything's suddenly gone from fun to awkward in record time. Was it something I said? Yeah, you didn't want to play his shitty little game. Sorry, didn't mean to put you on the spot there.
It's fine. I'll catch you around sometime.
Okay. Sure, nice meeting you. That turned weird in a hurry. I spot a shadowy figure out of the corner of my eye again. I swear they're following me. Or am I losing my mind? I give the rest of the club a quick check before working my way over to the bar again. There's little of the commotion I saw at the start of the evening now. Hopefully I haven't completely missed my chance to have a little fun. I just realized that the shadowy figure is probably fucking Vlad. And how fucking funny is it? I gotta see this guy. But like, you say Vlad and I immediately think of the Sims 4 vampire character. And this other guy, Vlad, is a creep. Anyway. Thankfully, there's still plenty going on. I head straight for the bar once more, figuring I can grab a drink or two while I plan my next move. Baby girl, you drink so much. So much. All right, Fixer, let's go. The dark-haired guy in the corner has spent the entire time I've been here sipping the same can of beer and staring down the crowd on the floor. He's not quite my type, but I'll admit that there's something about that cool, tough facade that's got my attention. For a start, he's wearing sunglasses after dark, and that vest, the spiky hair, his whole get-up screams biker or rocker or whatever he is. I get the feeling I'm not going to get far by approaching him directly. I mean, okay. So instead, I casually saunter up to his table, figuring I'll just wait for him to notice me. And as soon as I catch his eye... He can see me, right? He can't just be deliberately ignoring me. Baby girl, you have to just go for it. You just do. You are here for one singular thing. And so far, we have gotten none of what you're here for. Besides the drinks. I mean, hello? I'm right here. Okay. Fine. I clear my throat.
What?
The question comes out as a kind of low growl. I pull myself together and flash him a smile. Just wondering, is this seat taken? The man gives me a sour up and down look.
What's it to you?
Wow, he's really working that bad boy energy. It's just I saw you sitting by yourself and thought you might like some company. The scowl flickers for a second.
Sure, I guess.
Oh, he's so surly. From what I've seen so far, that might be the best invitation I'm gonna get. I settle down across from him. Thanks. My name's Cindy. Silence. Dead silence. Finally, after a few awkward moments, he relents.
People call me the Fixer.
Yeah, but what's your name? The Fixer? That almost makes you sound like some kind of mafia hitman or something. Wait, you're not actually a mafia hitman, are you? Because if you are...
Don't be ridiculous. I run a VCR repair shop.
Aw. Man. Throws me all the way back. VCR repair? Come on. That's got to be a cover for some kind of super illegal operation, right? I like how... I'm like sitting here thinking about how Dan clearly went and got high right before he took us to a secondary location, and she just completely didn't even seem to pick up on that. But this guy talks about what seems to be an actual job, and she's immediately like, oh my god, he's doing illegal shit. SD. I get the feeling I'd better not poke at the topic too much. Time to switch gears. So, hey, come here often?
This place? Not a chance.
Well, then why are you here?
I've got better things to do than spend my free time hanging around techwear kitties, wannabes, and drugged up trash tourists trying to get their rocks off.
Uh-oh. Yikes, this conversation is going downhill fast. What are you doing here then? You love the analysis? Thanks, I'm just... I gotta say words or I'll go crazy.
Business.
Okay, what kind of business, bestie? Oh, I almost ask what kind of business, but the last thing I want to do is get myself involved in some weird local underworld type deal. Switch gears. But why would you... Okay. We're all a little crazy. True. Did you have anything else planned tonight? Anything that isn't business, I mean?
I don't see how that's any of your concern.
Sir, we're trying to proposition you. Could you please play along? For the love of God. Maybe I'm coming on a bit too strong. Let's try a different approach. I think the issue is that you're not coming on strong enough. I think you should say, wanna fuck, and see what he says. Sorry, I just thought you might be interested in hitting the town later. I'm new here and was kind of hoping to find a guy who wouldn't mind showing me the sights.
Look, not for nothing, but I don't even know you, okay?
Okay, and I'm trying to get to know you. But you could. I decided to go for broke. So why don't we change that? Fixer gives me a sideways look, or as close to a sideways look as you can pull off when you're wearing sunglasses. He's really not having this. Meaning? I'll go get a couple of drinks and you can ask me some questions. Get to know me a little better. Uh-huh. What kind of questions? I give him a saucy grin. I'm sure you can think of something. Fixer goes quiet for a moment. His facial expression is beyond unreadable.
Fine.
Okay, fine. I'll bite. As long as you're paying for the drinks. Great, I'll be right back. Jack raises an eyebrow as he spots my approach. So you and Fixer, huh? I figured a few drinks might loosen him up. There's gotta be something under all that tough guy posturing, right? Yes, more Fixer. Any recommendations? He didn't seem like a big cocktail fan. No, he's more into the imported American beers. Get him a can of Get him a can of Budweiser and he'll be happy, or at least 5% less grumpy. Just a second. It's pronounced Bud. Before I can finish correcting him, Jack's already set down an ice-caked aluminum can on the counter. I squint at the red and white label with its subtle and not so subtle misspellings. I've also got a few Coors and Millar or two out back if you'd prefer something lighter. To be fair, this is, I think, set in ex-Soviet Russia. So, no, that's good. And what's your pleasure? What is it? Liquor before beer, you're in the clear. Beer before liquor, never sicker. I'll take a beer. Sure thing. He pulls the second can out of the cooler. The metal is cold enough to be painful to the touch, but I tough it out, tucking the beers under my arm. Sorry I couldn't be of more help, by the way. Guy's a tough nut to crack. If all else fails, maybe see what his friends have to say. Fixer has actual friends? I'm surprised, but also relieved. Writes that alcohol poem down. Yeah. I had to repeat it to myself quite a lot in my early 20s. His friends, huh? Are any of them in the club tonight? Let's see. Sandman's around, I think. If anyone knows anything about Fixer, it's him. If you can get him to talk, that is. You seem like the type who enjoys a good challenge, though. Frick, which one was Sandman? I flashed Jack an awkward smile and returned to my table to face my current challenge, one I'm not sure I'm enjoying just yet. Ooh, new super-in-law. Wait, can I... First of all, I'm just gonna go ahead and save really quick, and then souvenirs. This is so good. Fantastic. Oh, and this is that map that Dan made us. That's cute. This has to mean I am doing good. Took you long enough. I set our booze down, praying the extra alcohol will find a way to coax my Prince Charming out of this particular frog. I think you're being a little optimistic, babe. Fixer seems genuinely surprised when he realizes I brought the second can of beer back for myself, but doesn't comment on it. I knew that was the right idea. So I pull the ring tab and risk an experimental sip. It tastes like somebody doing a bad job of copying a bad American beer, for a start. 9/10 of the flavor seems to be the metal from the can itself. For the sake of appearances, I choke down one more mouthful before nudging it aside. This is how we know. Well, let me just try and figure out how I want to say this. I would be drinking the goddamn beer. Is all I have to say about that. Fixer then cracks open his Budweiser and leans forward, arms crossed. I'm a child. Good God. So, questions. Fine. Let's start with an easy one. What kind of music are you into? Better think about this one if I want to make a good impression. I wasn't paying attention to what's on his shirt, but I feel like industrial is probably a good way to go. You're gonna laugh, but I'm a big fan of industrial music. Fixer purses his lips. I'm not sure whether he's approving or upset.
Really?
Like what? Oh, I've got this one Revolting Cocks mixtape at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're okay, I guess. A little too mainstream for my tastes. Anyway, you any good with computers? I think in this day and age, I would consider myself a you bet, if only because half the population seems incapable of Googling anything. And when they do Google something, they just go by the AI summary instead of finding their own sources. So, hey, give me a good console and 3 megs of hot RAM and I'm happy. That's not... Okay. Fixer raises a very skeptical eyebrow.
Really?
What do you use for data backup then? Oh my god. Fixer shakes his head. Alright, how about virtual reality? You know anything about that? Something about the tone of the question makes it sound like he's itching for an excuse to rant. They're a great way to relax, or I liked it before it got trendy. Oh, guys, is he a hipster? I think he's a hipster. I get the feeling Fixer's just gonna start rolling his eyes if I mention my yoga sim, so I decide to play it cool instead. Not really my thing anymore, to be completely honest. Sorry. But we didn't mention the trendiness part. He's a hipster! Exercise a little, although with a little less disgust than usual. You're not missing much. There's far too many wannabes slinging junk trips out there. It's pathetic, frankly. Nobody's got any kind of standards or ambition. You know, when back I got started. Oh my god. I just kind of zone out and nod along with his rant, enjoying the novelty of scorn being aimed at somebody other than me. Back when the scene used to mean something. That's the problem right there. Uh-huh. I brace myself for the next question as Fixer takes another drink of Budweiser, then leans back.
Okay, I think we're done here.
What do you mean? What do you think I mean? I'm not really feeling it. Well, maybe if we got another round of drinks? No thanks, I've heard everything I need to. Fuck. I know. Fuck, I fucked it up, you guys. I guess that's that. In a way, I'm relieved it's over. I can say I've had worse dates, but not by much. Jack, save me, Jack. I returned to the bar one last time. Well, maybe crawl is the more accurate word. After everything that's happened this evening, the only thing I want is another strong cocktail from Jack. Another one? And the first available cab back to my hotel. Ooh. But Jack's not at his usual spot, or anywhere else for that matter. Crap, I guess his shift must have ended. The dance floor is almost empty at this point, and the few people still lingering in the booths look about set to pack it in, too. So much for my big night out. I'm about to head for the exit when I suddenly spot Jack coming out of one of the employee-only doors. Oh, look at him! He's shucked the strange orange uniform from earlier for a vintagey getup, and all I can say is yow. I have to head out right now. Oh, well, thanks for chilling for a little bit. I appreciate you. I should be on for probably another hour or so. So if I don't see you before you come back, I will be live same-ish time next week. And I hope to see you then. Excuse me. Between the form-fitting pants and the fancy waistcoat, he could easily be a cover model for those cheap airport bookstore quality romance novels I totally don't have 3 shelves of.
Heading out for the night?
Yo. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm done. I'm just gonna go back to my hotel and sleep things off.
I take it your evening didn't exactly go as planned.
Well, no. Not really, no.
Sorry to hear it.
I shrugged, trying my best to look composed about it. It's fine, really. Everybody has a bad night every once in a while. He smiles, not the practiced customer-friendly smile he's been giving Icebox patrons all evening, but something warm and real.
In that case, why don't you join me for dinner? I know just the place.
Okay. Well, okay, sure. Really? I'd love to, as long as it's not too far out.
Oh, it's not far out at all. In fact, it's right here in this building.
Narrows my eyes. In the Icebox? Don't tell me they've had a restaurant tucked away in here this whole time. Am I about to get my kidneys stolen? Then again, that would explain why the place is so freakishly enormous. Maybe I'll get lucky and find out they've got a secret spa, too. Sure, sounds great. Lead the way, Jack. Of course, let me just check to make sure security's got everybody else out. Jack digs into one of the cupboards behind the bar and pulls out a flip phone. He stares at its screen for several seconds with almost comical intensity, then taps a few keys. And then a few more. Then a few more. It's developing a frown that seems to get deeper with every button press. Is everything okay there? Bright as rain, just having a little trouble with this thing. Here, let me take a look. He reluctantly hands the phone over. Looks like the keyboard's locked, so what was up with all the button mashing? I unlock it and bring up his messages, then hand the phone back. He looks at me almost reverently. How did you do that? You just select unlock here, then hold down the hash key to unlock it?
I see.
Right, the hash, the bottom left one. Bottom left is hash. Got it. Sweet boy, can you not read? What's happening here? It's a new phone, still getting the hang of all the features. Getting the hang of how buttons work? Okay then. Guess it's been a long day for you too, huh? Oh, you have no idea. He checks over his texts, then clicks the phone shut and turns back to me. Looks like we're good. Shall we get going? The rooms you've seen so far are just the tip of the iceberg. Or should I say the tip of the icebox? I might be just drunk enough to find this funny, but Jack is on thin ice with that pun. Wait, god damn it. Usually the lower levels are strictly staff only. We're not big on guests down there. But for you, I could definitely make an exception. I feel like I'm about to have my kidney stolen, chat. Just one last thing. Oh, I have to be blindfolded. Okay. He ducks behind the bar stand again and rummages underneath the counter before pulling up a long black strip of cloth.
Sorry to be a pain, but I'm gonna need you to wear this.
You're gonna steal my fucking kidney. I will never forgive you. A blindfold. Are you kidding me? I look up at Jack. His gaze is serious but reassuring.
Well,
I know what it looks like, but some of our back office setup's a little touchy and we don't want to draw the wrong kind of attention. Nothing personal, but I've got to look out for the rest of the family. I promise I'll bring you back in one piece. The family? What does he mean by that? The way he's framing it makes it sound an awful lot like some kind of mob operation, and that could mean just about anything. I'm getting a seriously bad feeling about this. Fuck it, we ball. I nod my approval. Jack walks up to me and gently covers my eyes with the blindfold. He then takes my hand, leading me through what I'm guessing is the main dance floor to a heavy-sounding door. After a few twisted flights of stairs and the longest elevator ride of my life, it seems like we finally reached whatever mysterious destination Jack had in mind. Okay, you can take it off now. Oh. I do as he says and open my eyes. The first thing I see is a cozy table for two with candles, plates, and multiple sets of cutlery, just like you'd expect at any decent restaurant. And then the heads. Rows and rows of them lining the walls. Some well preserved, some practically skulls. What the hell?
sorry.
Sorry about the backdrop. It's hard finding unoccupied spaces in here. These guys came with the place, and we try not to disturb them. Bad omens and all that. I'm sorry? So they're real? And the bodies in the tanks upstairs? That's right, all of them were live humans once, a long, long time ago. Pardonnez fucking moi? He wistfully looks up at the heads, almost as if he knew them personally. This is getting a bit too much to handle. Still, I've got to know. And how did they end up here? Well now, the icebox wasn't always the icebox, see? Back in the day, they used to call this the BG Lazarev Advanced Low Temperature Laboratory. They had scientists carrying out all sorts of experiments on people down here, mostly involving things like cryogenic preservation. You could have fucking fooled me. Some of those guys were already dead when they got here, some were willing to give their lives for science, and some didn't have a choice in the matter. Are any of them still alive? More than you'd think. We've lost a few over the years, but most of the original equipment's still holding up. We try not to advertise that part too much, though. Technically, the gear here is all government property, meaning they could seize it at any time. But anyway, that's ancient history. Now it's just home. You live here? Jack seems entirely unfazed by the creepy decor and the equally disturbing story behind it. Wish I could say the same. Well, enough of that. You must be starving after everything you've been through tonight. God, don't remind me. This whole evening's been embarrassing enough. I mean, what was I thinking with those guys? Oh, no need to be embarrassed. I, for one, am glad one can be a bit more adventurous in this day and age compared to how things were in the, Are you a vampire, sir? I thought this was just a sci-fi, like, cyberpunk story. If this shit's about to get supernatural... Okay. Oh, finally, the food's here. Sure enough, a strange hooded figure slowly approaches our table, carrying a gently steaming tray. The shabby robe they're wearing covers almost every visible feature. I can't even tell if there's a man or a woman under all that. All I see is a glimmer of round glasses under the hood. Jack sighs audibly. Hey, Alfredo, I thought I told you to smarten up a bit. Don't you see we have a visitor? The figure mumbles something back. Guy sounds like he lost his voice, though. I can barely make out what he's saying. Okay, I'll give you more notice next time. Let's just get things served out now. Alfredo staggers closer to the table and starts setting out our meal. Disturbing as the ambiance might be, the food itself looks and smells delicious. It's pasta with plenty of greens and garlic bread on the side. But my eyes keep darting back to Alfredo. His movements are slow and shaky. Every motion seems to take genuine effort. Is he okay? Oh, just a bit of a cold. Nothing to worry about. I told him to rest up earlier, but he just won't listen. Hey, care for some wine? Alfredo just restocked our cellar. I can have him bring over a few bottles for tasting. That triggers more disapproving grumbles from the looming figure. Sure, why not? Wine sounds great. You were just told that this guy is not feeling well, and Jack is offering to make him do more work for you, and you say yes? Okay. Jack sighs as he watches the robed man shamble off to fetch our drinks. Poor guy, still acting like it's the prohibition. He is! Dude, of course, back then we were mixing the stuff from fermented grape jelly. You couldn't get a wine this nice unless you knew the right priest, or... You know, we should probably start eating before things get too cold. I'm on to you, sir. Back then? Jack looks like he's in his late 20s, early 30s at most. How could he possibly... Oh, hope you're okay with vegetarian cuisine. You tend to lose your taste for meat after you've hosed down your third or fourth cryopod. But I'm sure Alfredo's got some chicken stashed away somewhere if you'd rather... No, Jack, it's okay. Pasta's great. No, I've got to ask, or this won't stop bugging me. This might sound ridiculous, but I have to ask you something. Shoot. How old are you? Perfectly reasonable question to ask. I'm 28. And how long, sir, have you been 28? Really? You seem older. Eek. That came out less polite than I'd hoped. Jack stirs in his seat but doesn't budge.
Well,
You've seen Stradania. Living here tends to take a toll on people, though personally I'd like to think I'm still in pretty good shape. Or am I wrong? No, you look great. It's not that. You just act old. I mean, you can't even work a flip phone. You were talking about the prohibition like it was yesterday, and that outfit. We all have our quirks. Me, I happen to be a bit of a history buff and bad at tech, apparently. For a second, I thought I was going to get a straight answer out of him, but now that he's regained his composure, it's back to smiles and evasion. I'm not buying it. Not after seeing Alfredo moved like an octogenarian. Definitely not after all the other little slip-ups. All I need is to find a way to put him on the spot. Okay, next question. Fixer would be so proud of me right now. So, I'm willing to bet he doesn't even have an email address. Also, this is 95. I'm trying to remember. When I made my first email address. Obviously, email came out before I made my first one, but I think we ask him what his favorite band is. Favorite band? Probably no, wait. Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. That's right. Wait, really? He nods confidently. Well, guess no one's perfect. Not even Jack. Aren't those guys a swing band, though? I mean, that's basically old people music right there. Swing revival band. Thank you very much. Very modern and nothing like the original. Trust me. Trust you? Sir. The original what? Sorry? You just said... Anyway, shouldn't we start eating now? Wait, just let me try one more. Name the US president. What's this? A current affairs quiz? Fine. Bill Clinton. I do read the papers, you know. How about in 1920? Huh, easy. Woodrow Wilson. You answered that one awfully quickly. Well, sure, history buff, remember? Fuck. So I guess it was the email address one I should have chosen. Anything else you'd like to drill me on while you're at it? Current Pope, Secretary General of the United Nations. Let's try this one again. Alright, what's your email address?
Huh?
Bingo, looks like I've caught him off guard. Oh, bless his pea-picking heart. No, not your actual address, your email. You know the address you use on the internet? Who's got time for an internet? I'm a oh my god. Holy fucking shit. That was a bad one, I'm sorry. I'm a pretty busy guy, Cindy. A place this size doesn't exactly run itself. Even if I wanted to visit internet, I can't exactly. Jack, come on. You don't know what an email is, do you? He deflates. Not really, no. Well, now I just feel bad for the guy, but we're so close to figuring this out. Should I keep pressing? Yes, get his ass. Look, whatever it is you're hiding, you can tell me, okay? Look at it this way. I'm just a tourist here. In a few days, I'll be gone, and no one's ever gonna be the wiser. He hesitates for a moment, mulling my argument over. Alright, fine. My real age is 90. I knew it. Give or take, birth certificates weren't really an exact science back then. 90? I knew he was older than he was letting on, but this is unreal. Alfredo and I had a little accident out in the Bering Sea. We spent a few decades bobbing around in the ice before the Russians fished us out and started studying us. From what the locals tell me, we were quite the sensation in science circles back then. Frozen solid but alive all the same, and nobody had the faintest clue why. They used to have school kids drive down by the bus pool, to come gawk at us, at least before the lab was set up. After that, things started getting more serious. Personally, I'm glad I wasn't conscious for any of it. Wait, you mean you were a test subject like them? I look at the wall of severed heads again. The idea of Jack's face bobbing around in one of those jars chills me to the core. Yeah. Well, I at least got to keep my head, which already made me luckier than these poor slobs. What about Alfredo? Alfredo was my accomplice. Unfortunately, the ice didn't treat him as well. Never mind the damage from the revival process, but he's a great cook and still kicks my ass at poker every week. That menacing hooded figure, great at poker? The more Jack tells me, the more questions I have. Wait, hold on a second. Accomplice? Accomplice to what? Well, mostly just hawking illegal booze. Some other less savory schemes I'm not proud of. We did what we could to survive. That's what started this whole mess, actually. We were up in Alaska to collect a shipment from one of my suppliers when things went south. Who would have thought still be slinging drinks 6 decades later, eh? Not quite the retirement I had in mind. On the plus side, I did sleep through World War II and a bunch of other nastiness. I'll give Jack this, he's lived an awful lot for a guy who spent 60 years on ice. Oh my god, Captain America, is that you? Excuse me. So you just woke up here one day? Not exactly. The thing is, after the Soviet Union collapsed, there really wasn't anybody left to pick up the tab for the operations here. And once the lab team stopped getting paid, they started stripping the place for parts, and eventually the people, too. So one moment I'm freezing to death in a dinghy off of Cape Nunamo. The next I find myself on a slab face to face with a crazy one-eyed med student getting ready to remove my rib cage. Thankfully, I was able to talk my way out of that one. After that, I decided to find a way to keep the lights on in here. Figured I owed it to the other subjects who didn't get lucky like I did. They're the closest thing I've got to a family now. Fortunately, I already knew a thing or two about running a business and how to make a decent cocktail on the cheap. And that is the story of Jack. Incredible. Is all I can get out, seeing as I'm busy stuffing my face with the last of the pasta. In fact, I've been so engrossed in Jack's story that I've inhaled my entire meal without thinking. I don't even want to think about how I must have looked to him. I swear I don't usually eat this much. Bitch! Don't apologize.
Oh.
Hello? Sorry, this what is happening? Oh, that's quite alright. After all, you're gonna need those calories later. Am I being propositioned, or is he stealing my kidney? He gives me a mischievous look as I almost choke on my meal. I'm talking about dancing, of course. Sure. Oh, I'm not sure whether to be relieved or disappointed. Dancing? Sure, I watch people dance all night, and yet at the end of my shift, there's no one left for me to dance with. I can't be the only person he's used that line on, but after a good meal and a couple of glasses of very decent wine, I'm more than happy to play along. Gonna be honest with you, I'm not much of a dancer. You're not making me do the Charleston, are you? Good. Not after a 10-hour shift, so don't fret. Let's go with something simpler. With that, he reaches into the waistband of his pants, pulls out a revolver, and casually places it on the table. Wait, he been carrying that thing the whole time? I'm sorry, this is like the craziest option of all of them, I think, so far? What the fuck? Wouldn't want this to get in the way, would we? Is that a gun in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? Dude, what the fuck is happening?
Sorry.
Old habits and all that. Okay. And like, no inner thoughts about that, apparently. While I frantically try to at least remember some basic moves from my salsa class, Jack reaches behind one of the cylinders and pulls out a gaudy-looking CD boombox. Then stares at the buttons like they're some kind of next-level logic puzzle. Poor guy. Figures, right? Just as I'm starting to get the hang of vinyl, they have to go and invent some other damn thing. Need any help? If you don't mind. It's nice to have the upper hand for once. I switch on the player as Jack carefully observes my movements. Sorry, I'm just stuck on the fact that he had a gun in his waistband the whole time, and my character has had no No inner thoughts about that other than, wait, has that been there the whole time? Girl, wake up. So, which track do you want? Let's go with number 3. A sweet, jazzy tune starts playing. It's the kind of song that would be great for slow dancing if I had any slow dancing experience whatsoever. Well, too late to back out now.
Don't you worry about a thing.
Sir, yes, sir.
I'll lead, you follow.
New memory unlocked.
Easiest thing in
Dancing
the
with
world.
Jack. And with that, he puts my hand on my waist and pulls me closer. I'm having a hard enough time staying on my feet, and having Jack's face just inches from my own isn't making me feel any more steady. Is this a tattoo, I wonder? Well, he's got it on both arms, so I'm wondering if that's part of the experimentation thing. But he's got grace enough for both of us as he confidently leads me across the room, weaving and dodging past the tables around us without even breaking a sweat. I do my best to keep up, or at least not step on his feet.
And twirl.
Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. He sends me spinning, leaving me to try my best to look graceful and not break my arm in the process.
Good. You're getting the hang of it. Again.
He's really making me work for this dinner. I do a slightly more gracious turn this time, landing straight in his arms. And with that, he dips so low that I have no choice but to instinctively grab onto him.
Oh, was that too much?
He sounds far too pleased with himself.
Apologies. It's been a while since I've had this much fun.
His steps gradually slow. I realize I'm still holding on to him for dear life. But I'm not about to let go.
Hey,
Yes, Jack?
you don't mind how this night turned out, do you?
I guess not.
I mean, dancing with a 90-year-old fossil who can't even use a computer in a room full of severed heads?
Well, when you put it that way. I look at Jack, all too aware that I'm still a little red-faced after our lap around the dining room. But we both know the answer to that question, so I lean in and kiss him until we're both out of breath. I don't think this night could have turned out any better. I know you're being so sweet and so nice. Whatever.
So glad to hear it. Because I don't feel like letting you go just yet.
Hey, yo!
Now, how about we find a room with slightly fewer eyeballs?
Hey, yo! Are you gonna blindfold me again?
Of course. If you ask me nicely.
Okay. Achievement get consolation prize. Spend the night with Jack. Jack and I spent the night together. He had almost supernatural levels of energy for someone who's just finished a bar shift. Not bad for a 90-year-old fossil. I'm assuming that's him. What a fantastic photo. I wake up and slowly open my eyes. It takes me a moment to recall where I am, but the interior speaks for itself. I'm still at the icebox, albeit in a room with fewer corpses. Transforming a decrepit lab cell into a cozy bedroom is no small task, yet Jack seems to have succeeded. The once grimy walls, switches, and metal pipes now bear a touch of warmth from the soft lighting and wall decor. Sorry, I've got the yawns really bad. Ugh. I smile to myself. All those dates, trying to find a guy to leave the club with, and yet here I am, still here, in bed with the bartender who was supposed to be my wingman for the night. I turn onto my side, expecting to see Jack, but he's not there. Wait, what time is it again? I just hope I haven't slept through the day, but without any natural light, it's kind of hard to tell. As cozy as I am, I wouldn't want to waste my last day in Stradania. It's time to get dressed and face the walk of shame. I lift myself up from the bed and wince in pain. I've had worse hangovers, but I'm definitely still feeling all those novelty cocktails from last night. I look at the bedside table to find an aspirin and a glass of water nearby, and down both. How thoughtful of Jack. I wait a few minutes to see if he comes back to avoid exploring the inner chambers of this place on my own. But at this point, I really need the bathroom, so I have no choice but to sneak out of the room and explore. I walk through a dim corridor trying to spot a WC sign. I can hear the banging of pots and pans and the sound of running water. The kitchen must be close. Is that coffee? Smells nice. No. Focus, Sunny. I try a door next to the kitchen. Bingo, this must be the staff bathroom. A bit run down, but clean looking. The walls here are covered in various hazard signs and safety procedures, left over from the previous owners, no doubt. Suddenly there's a voice. No, two voices. One sounds like Jack and the other seems unfamiliar, but it has a strong Italian accent. Wait a minute, is this? I notice a small window at the top of the bathroom wall. What the fuck? And decide to take a peek. I see Jack having a heated argument with, I'm guessing, Alfredo. Look at him! He's a little Frankenstein guy. He's so cool. Except instead of a monstrous hooded figure, it's just a really tall man in a simple white shirt and an apron. An intimidating bluish-looking man covered in scars and stitches, but definitely in better shape than whatever it is I saw yesterday. And surprisingly well-groomed for what might as well be a zombie. He's sporting a stash and vintage glasses, and unlike Jack, even kept his hairstyle in line with 20s trends. Wow, okay, sir. Looking at this. Looking at this. Looking at this. I thought I told you to get some rest, Alfredo. What even was that last night? You scared the shit out of my date with your little Frankenstein act. I had to pay Lynn's courier his day rate just to get him to deliver your medicine by dawn. So why are you up and running around again on your day off? Why? Have you seen the state you left the kitchen in, mio caro? It was filthy. Every single surface. I thought we agreed. When you cook, I clean. When I cook, you clean. And what do? Leave a feast for the cockroaches. Maybe if you stopped bringing random turisti in here and spent one night being a responsible adult, I could rest. Jack rolls his eyes. Not this conversation again. Oh, so this is a pattern. We're not special, Chad. Oh no. He sighs and composes himself. God damn it. Look, I'm sorry about the kitchen, but you can't expect me to drop everything and clean when I have a date over. That would be a major mood killer, as the kids say. How is it a mood killer? Sounds like a perfect couple activity to me. To you, sure, but as you know, I prefer other sorts of activities. Yes, you have your needs. You've made that abundantly clear. Thank you. Ouch, I'm still confused about the nature of their relationship, but I'm pretty sure the two could benefit from some couples therapy if such a thing exists here. Anyway, what I keep trying to tell you is the more you exert yourself, the more medication you need. And when it runs out, bad things happen, and you think I like seeing you like this? No, it's fucking terrifying. So I need you to take care of your health and save your energy for when it matters. After all, what will happen to this family without a consigliere? I'm sorry. Are you saying that his only worth is as your butler? Because that's fucked up, bro. He looks at Alfredo. Hang on, I have to Google consigliere to make sure that I translated that properly. Well, it's mafia stuff. A person who serves as an advisor or counselor to the leader of a criminal organization. Okay, well, close enough. He looks at Alfredo with sad puppy eyes. This man could manipulate anyone. Julio, per l'amor de Dio, Why do you always do this? These faces of yours are why I need so much medication. Julio. I guess this is Jack's real name. Do you really want me to spend the rest of my life bedridden now when I'm finally free of the family and the things they were making us do? I'm just happy I can live out the rest of my days in peace doing what I love instead of ruining lives. So even if those days are cut short. You idiot. I keep telling you I don't want them to be cut short, so why are you being so... I never thought I'd see Jack get this hot-headed over anything. Makes me wonder which version is the real him. I'm really vibing with the under eye thing happening here. Okay, fine, I'll go. But then you have to finish the chores. As they say here, less moping and more, mopping. There you go. He hands Jack a mop. I guess he's not getting out of chores this time. No, they don't. You literally just came up with it. I just brewed a fresh pot of coffee, by the way. Should be enough for you and your barista. Aw, that's sweet, I think.
Thanks.
For us? You really shouldn't have, but thanks, Alfredo. Enjoy. And Julio, I know I complain a lot, but I also know you've been working long shifts this week. So have fun on your day off. Alfredo gives him one last stern look before leaving. But not too much fun. Don't forget to mop. Yeah, go get some sleep already, old man. We don't want you turning into a zombie again and scaring the patrons. I was so invested in their back and forth, I almost missed the fact that Jack is about to come back to the bedroom while I'm out here eavesdropping. Thankfully, he's diligently mopping the floors as asked, and I managed to sneak past everyone and get back to bed. Who's everyone? Moments later, I'm hard at work pretending to be asleep when Jack comes back.
Morning, you.
Morning. Sorry for waking you up, but it's almost noon, and I figured you wouldn't want to miss the rest of your trip. How are you feeling? I sit up on the bed and stretch. A little rough, if I'm honest.
I see.
I'm not surprised. It's been quite a night for us both.
Here you go.
It's not much, but here's some coffee. Alfredo just brewed a fresh batch, and I have to say, it's pretty damn good. I take a sip and immediately feel better. Then again, at this point, Jack had served me cryopod goo, and I still wouldn't refuse it. What do you... Oh my god. How's Alfredo doing? He seemed a little under the weather last night. Oh, yeah, much better. He seemed surprised I asked or even remembered. Should I confess to eavesdropping or move on? How mad is he gonna be if I tell him I eavesdropped? Eavesdrope. I want to know. I'll be honest, I overheard you and Alfredo talking while I was in the bathroom.
Huh?
What? I really didn't mean to, but I've heard about his health problems and I couldn't help but worry. You and me both. Well, I suppose if you already know the gist of it. Alfredo suffered some damage from his time on ice and there were all sorts of complications that followed. Without medication, his body starts falling apart, especially if he does too much physical work. We found a good supply of it here in the lab, but eventually it ran dry. Now I had to get it from the local cyberjacker, and knowing her, oh god, excuse me, she's bound to end up in prison or a mental ward someday. Until we find a better source, all we have is that one-eyed harpy that keeps hiking up prices and making me do her dirty work. Anything I can do? Maybe smuggle in a few packs of Alfredo's meds? I appreciate it, but I'm afraid this is the job for a seasoned drug mule. I wouldn't want to put you through all that. Though if you ever do decide to visit again, drop me a line, maybe we can work something out. Sure, want me to email you? I bite my tongue as Jack gives me a pleading look. Jack's proficiency last night made me forget about how clumsy he is with tech. Again, Zinni. I guess I have no choice but to get this email thing people keep bringing up. Anyway, enough of that. It's a beautiful day outside, and here I am, whining about my problems instead of letting you enjoy it. So doing anything fun on this fine day? Sightseeing? Shopping? Of course, I wouldn't mind if you stayed a little longer. I'm sure I could find us something to do. Not the wink, Jack. By the way he looks at me, I don't think he's lying. I honestly expected to be kicked out first thing in the morning with how these things usually go. So this is a pleasant surprise. Oh, God. I need to think carefully about my plan for today. Should I spend the last day of my trip with Jack or head out and see more of the city? I should probably go. I down the rest of the miniature cup in one sip. It's good, I'm used to longer drinks, but I guess that's the Italian way. I really needed this. Thanks, Jack. Anytime. Are you hungry at all? I wasn't sure if you were feeling up for breakfast, but I can whip something up if you give me a moment. I wish I could stay, but it's already so late and I'm not even dressed. Thanks, but I should probably get going. There's still so much I haven't done in the city and it's already well past noon. Besides, you must have your hands full taking care of this place.
Well,
True, I do spend most of my days doing maintenance and putting out fires. Sometimes literally. But as it happens, my bar staff insisted I take it today off, so here I am. I think they're just tired of being bossed around and dealing with my tech illiteracy. I say you've earned it. Got any plans? Plans? Not really, aside from general relaxing. I think I'll stay in, have a few beers, maybe rewatch The Godfather with Alfredo. He insists we try other movies, but I just can't help myself. Anyway, I won't take up any more of your time. Just wanted to say that last night was a lot of fun and I enjoyed every moment of it. I hope you did too. My heart sinks a little. Wish he didn't have to be so damn sweet to me all the time. It just makes leaving so much harder. Yeah, blah blah. And if you ever feel desperate enough to come back, do drop by the icebox. I'll be here waiting, cocktail in hand. And with that, we finally say our goodbyes and part ways. Take care, Jack. Thanks for making this hellish trip worth it. Oh, God, we're out. I leave the icebox and go back to my hotel for a quick shower. I think back to the night before and what an unforgettable night it was. Still, as much as I've enjoyed Jack's company, there's still people I'd like to say goodbye to. My time here is limited. I should think carefully about who I want to spend it with. I like that I've only got the one choice because I fucked up literally every other guy. Incredible. Okay. I can feel my voice trying to go out. And my head has not improved. So I think unfortunately we're going to go ahead and call it there. But let's see. How do I get out of here? Quit. There we go. Okay. Boy, I do not have brain power right now. So the original plan for next week, which next week is the 22nd, I think is Saturday also. No, I'm sorry. It's Sunday. I forgot. They fucked me over next week, schedule-wise. Um, Next week, stream is on Sunday. The original plan was for us to play Moral Dilemma the interview. I guess I'll ask in Discord and see what you guys think about picking between us continuing this game or just going ahead and playing Moral Dilemma and see what you guys think. So, um sorry, I'm like really feeling my battery go downhill like the more I talk. The link to the Discord is right there should you like to join. It is 18 plus, but you can't talk, so no pressure. Um is my schedule updated? Oh no. Well, that's embarrassing. Ignore that. Um there's that if you want to follow me places. And I'm going to go ahead and get into bed and sleep, I think. And hopefully I feel better tomorrow. thank you everybody for hanging out with me tonight. If you had Valentine's plans today and you got finished with them, I hope they were good. If you didn't celebrate Valentine's today and you hung out with me instead, that's pretty fucking cool. Thanks for doing that. I appreciate you. I will see you next week. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. I love you very much.